Monday Night Chat with Wong Chen.
Brought to you by the Member of Parliament for Kelana Jaya in collaboration with Invo.
Welcome back to Monday Night Chat with Wong Chen. So today, as you can see, I'm wearing different glasses. These are my home glasses and my shopping glasses. These are when I want to remain a little bit anonymous in public. I wear them. This morning I forgot to put on my original glasses and I came to work. So bear with me on this. We have 3 questions this week. First from Mr. Lau asking for an update on TPPA. Okay, is it dead? What is Malaysia's position on it? The TPPA under Donald Trump is officially dead. He has already announced it many times, and without the US participation, the TPPA cannot go ahead because there is a formula in the TPPA that requires a certain percentage of economic pie size in order to do the TPPA. Okay, so it's gone. Why do some countries hang on to it? I think they're hoping to run down the clock for 4 years and hopefully Trump gets booted out, and therefore they can revive back the TPPA. Other than that, it's officially dead. Okay. Number 2, Mr. Dinesh asked about the stance of Pakistan on single-payer healthcare. Let me just explain. Single-payer healthcare means one payer, which basically in most circumstances is the government. Can we afford the government to pay completely everything? Some people mooted the idea of having insurance, health insurance. Some people say that the government should pay everything, and therefore we remove the whole private sector. It's not doable in Malaysia at the moment because the tax that we collect is insufficient to pay for single-payer system. Do Pakatan Harapan aspire for it? I think we do aspire for the idea that, like education, health should be completely free. But under current situation where we have a dual pay system, which means the private sector and the public sector is actually working quite well. But there are challenges going ahead for the health system, and that's to do with public health and to do with the idea that we have a lot of undocumented workers. But that's a separate issue altogether. Yeah. So last question is, what is my take on Saudi King Salman's visit to Malaysia? Well, it has been generally quite positive because a month ago, Bloomberg and all the other major media has reported that Aramco, the Saudi oil investment company, has refused to invest in Rapid. But after coming to Malaysia and having lunch with Rosmah and Najib, or dinner with him, I don't know, but somehow Rosmah and Najib did their magic and persuaded them to invest $2 billion, and that's in a form of an MOU. But as a lawyer, I can tell you, an MOU is just an MOU until the money actually appears and land in land. Okay, so what else is there? Oh yeah, and some of these people went around, then politicians say that, this sort of justifies or vindicates Najib regarding the 2.6 billion. I still think that is not been settled fully yet. Yeah, unless the Saudi royal family or the Saudi government comes out in an official statement, written statement, or even like a press statement that they actually paid 2.6 billion, then the matter can go to rest. Now, why am I so skeptical about this issue? It's very simple. Just in December, 2 months ago, right, the Saudi royal family decided to start a campaign of humanitarian aid to Syria. As you know, Syria has been in war for years and years, and you've got like so many people who are in dire straits, extreme dire straits, millions. And the good King Salman decided to give 20 million riyal to donation from his personal money. 20 million, right? And what's 20 million riyal? 20 million riyal is 23 million ringgit. Yeah. So how is it? Doesn't make sense. The king gives 23 million to the entire suffering of people in Syria, but can give 2.6 billion to Najib into his personal bank account. I'm not sure about this whole issue about the 2.6 billion. Okay. So that's it for Q&A this week. Next week we will deal with more questions. So please put up more questions for us to answer. Thank you. Welcome back to Policy Monday. This week, this is in reply to one of our very strong supporter and reader, Mr. Eddie Gunn. He asked a lot of questions on currency, so I thought let's just talk about Malaysian currency. Okay, let's just run with the basic number first. In 1987, and for the longest time, we had a ringgit, 2.5 ringgit to 1 US dollar. That was the standard for a very long time. Even when I was a kid at school, I always remember those numbers. 2.5 ringgit to $1. Today is $4 ringgit 45 cents to 1 US dollar. So what has happened to the Malaysian ringgit? It has consistently over 30 years been going down on a downward trajectory. And the big drop really happened in 2015 from $3 ringgit 30 cents to 4 ringgit 45 per US dollar. So what is the cause of this massive drop? Currency, like everything else that is traded, is based on a simple principle of supply and demand. Okay, so it's like milk, it's like potatoes, it's like pizza. It's just supply and demand. Yeah. So how does the supply and demand in terms of currency work? It's very simple. For instance, if I want to take out 1,000 ringgit and I want to go to Singapore and I convert it to Sing dollars, right? I'll get what, 3 ringgit, 300 Sing dollars. The act of converting my ringgit into Sing dollars is the same as me selling ringgit and buying Sing dollars, right? Now, if we have millions of people and hundreds and thousands of transactions where ringgits are being converted to Sing dollars or converted to euro or converted to US dollars, essentially it's a supply and demand of selling ringgit, buying other currencies, and that pushes the value of the ringgit down. Okay, so the problem now is we're looking at the world is highly complicated, highly computerized, and issues on investments are no longer straightforward. Yeah, in the old ways, in the 1960s, 70s, 80s, 90s, when we talk about investors, we usually talk about a guy setting up a factory in Malaysia. Yeah, so he brings US dollars, he buys ringgits, and he creates a factory. Nowadays, with hyper capitalism, it really has nothing to do with investing in those sense. Mostly people invest in all sort of things like bonds, equities, transactions, over-the-counter trades, forex tradings, and so on. So the financial world is much more complex than it used to be. Therefore, currencies are being traded at a much, much faster rate than the old days, resulting in greater volatility. So the bottom line in all this is this. While it's a supply and demand issue, the fundamental issue is about confidence. Yeah. So financial trades is always to do with confidence level. So what are the big news in the recent years, in 2015, 2016, 2017, that has driven the confidence level or the currency of Malaysia down? The big story is 1MDB. Yeah. 1MDB affects everyone. It affects foreign investors. It affects foreign bondholders. And if they look at 1MDB and the entire world knows about it, except somehow in Malaysia it's like a taboo subject, right? If the government can lose so much money and allegations of money laundering right across the world, and nobody gets prosecuted here, nobody believes there's rule of law in Malaysia. So why would they want to invest here? Therefore, foreigners are not coming to invest in Malaysia. They are not buying Malaysian currency. They are selling Malaysian bonds. If they are denominated in ringgit, they are selling ringgit essentially, and that has caused a massive drop in the currency. Okay, and then domestically, the foreigners are affected by 1MDB primarily. Domestic investors are also affected by 1MDB because it's a reflection of corruption and a culture of impunity in the country. But they also, most domestic investors or so-called rich people in Malaysia are also very worried about the political situation. When you have Sedition Act getting more draconian, when acts are much more draconian and politicians are arrested left and right, they fear that it's going to be a political problem. And then with the rise of the Hudud Bill, you add in that and radical Islam, then you have the entire confidence level evaporated by the moneyed class, and they move out money out of the country, driving the currency further down. Now, Mr. Gan also asked whether what is the intrinsic value of the ringgit, based on pure economics. Confidence is something which is what we call behavioral economics, but pure economics will probably about $3.80 to $4. That's my guess. 380 ringgit to 4 ringgit to $1. Around those are the economic numbers. So, but roughly this is the thing that I want to stress to most of you. I think the currency is valued 80% of the value of the currency that is traded today is based on confidence and supply and demand. 10% is really caused by Bank Negara's activity or inactivity. Another 10% are speculators, right? So the recent drop got quite serious at the start of the year because Bank Negara, with the new bank governor, decided to take some actions, and they were not very clear at the start, therefore driving the NDF market down, and causing a minor panic. Later they recovered, Bank Negara recovered and sort of stabilized the thing, but then they had to force exporters to convert 70% of their holding back into ringgit. So that stabilized a bit. But the lesson is here. I think under Zeti, she would have taken the policy of doing nothing. Under the new guy, I think he was trying to earn some merit badges or something. He decided to do something, and that caused a bit of a problem. But whatever it is, it seems to have stabilized. Now, the 10% effect is really about speculators, right? Now, speculators only look at one big number, and they look at the number of the reserves in Bank Negara. Some people say the reserves are reflective. Some people say there are massaged numbers. We don't know. I'm not here to make any accusation. But the only saving grace in the entire episode regarding the ringgit, I'm not going to speculate whether it's going to go up or down. The whole entire saving grace in this matter at the moment is that everybody has gone Trump crazy. The financial world has gone Trump crazy. They are supportive of Trump. Trump has announced major tax cuts for corporations, driving up equities to levels unseen before. Stock market is hot. So when stock market is hot, the vouchers, which are currency speculators, are interested in stocks. They're not interested in how weak the ringgit is. But when that musical chair stops in America one day, soon I think, then they may focus back on distressed currencies and may then speculate on us again. So we do have a small window. We have to improve on our reserves to make sure that when speculators are looking at the next voucher to next victim to attack, that Malaysia is not one of them. Okay, so that's it for Currency and Policy Monday. We'll see you next week again for another one.
Hey, okay, so we have got loads of events again this week. I know, remember how I said I'm praying for a shorter list? Well, that didn't happen. So, I have like 6 items here to go through, so let's run through this very quickly. Okay, so the first one is the PGS 8/9 Gotong Royong that took place. Another successful event. Kudos to all of you that participated and organized it. Great job, everybody. Okay, moving along. Damn fast, right? I know, I'm amazing. Okay, on Sunday, boss had to attend a Desa Mentari Block 5 JMB meeting. And there we hope that whatever issues or concerns residents had that needed to be addressed by the JMB were addressed and settled successfully. Good job, everybody. Good job. Okay, the third one was, I think, one of the most important events that happened during the weekend. It's the medical camp that took place at Pangsapuri SS19/7A. It went on from 9 in the morning till 1 in the afternoon. We would like to thank the medical outreach PJ, Dr. Margaret, Dr. Wendy and their team, 4 medical volunteers, including 2 medical students, 2 pharmacists, and our 15 volunteers that were made out of our ex-interns, current interns, and Hannah's office. Thank you so much for helping out, everybody. We would like to thank the KRT SS19/7A in Cik Khairul. Thank you so much for letting us use the place. And we hope that all your residents were able to participate and actually got the medicine that they needed. We would like to thank MPSJ for all the equipment. Thank you so much for coming by, Ken Chia, to help us out. And thank you for holding umbrellas for aunties and all that. You're the man lah, bro. You're the man. Okay, so what took place at medical camp was residents of the area got free doctor consultations and free medication as well. We managed to serve 142 patients just within those short hours, and that includes children as well. I think we had a whole lot more children patients come in this round, so the pediatrician was rather popular in those parts. Good job. Doctor, sorry, I don't know your name, but good job, Dr. Pedestrian. You did right. I might have pronounced it wrongly. Don't mind me. I'm not a medical student. Okay, so the next event, the candlelight vigil, was held for Pastor Raymond Koh. Let's all be serious for a moment. Yeah, this took place from 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. I'm sure that you all have heard of what happened. So boss and one of our colleagues, Tanya, actually went for the candlelight vigil to just stand with the family during this tough time for them. We would like to pray for his safe return home. This took place next to the Ibu Pejabat Police Daerah Shah Alam, where a few hundred people gathered. Thank you so much, everybody, for gathering to support the family. I think during this time of need, it is important that we stand by our community, and we were so honored to be able to have been part of it. Thank you so much, and we do pray for his safe return home. Okay, next, the Gabungan Desa Mentari had an event as well. So right after the candlelight vigil, YB had to scoot on over to Desa Mentari again for a 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock event at night. I know, he did it till midnight way. Crazy, right? But that's our YB. Hey! No boss like my boss. Okay, anyway, we would like to thank Encik Hassan and the committee members for doing such a good job at the event. It was another successful event. So congratulations, guys. Now, this is the biggest thing this whole month that you're going to get like Policy Mondays on and Q&As from. I'm sure boss is going to address everything that happens during this session. Parliament has started. Woohoo! And it has begun in a new day one, right? Yeah, they took 4 years to complete this. Insane, right? But hey, better late than never, I suppose. So yeah, that's really awesome. So you might want to stay tuned to Monday Night Chat throughout the whole month, because YB will start addressing those important issues that you will see popping out on the newspapers. Let me just tell you that Parliament sessions are far more interesting than any Western TV series or Asian sitcom. How do I know this? Let me tell you. There is going to be drama. There's going to be comedy. There's going to be action. There's going to be adventure. And that is another day in Parliament in Malaysia for you. So stay tuned to Monday Night Chat. Thank you so much, everybody. Let's pray for a longer list in hope that I will get a shorter list instead. Take care, everybody. Have a great night.
Welcome back to... can't even think, sorry. Welcome back to Monday Night Chat. Welcome back to Monday Night Chat. I don't know what to say. Okay. Welcome back to Monday Night Chat. Don't smile.